Hey guys, we are here with Halo this afternoon. So something I'd like to go over in this video is talking about reliability with your dog using a leash and off-leash reliability. So it's really important to understand that if you want your dog to have off-leash reliability, meaning if they don't have a leash on them, you call them, they come, that you practice doing it with a communication device first. So off-leash reliability only comes with trust, practice, repetition, and 100% of the time understanding that when you ask your dog to do something, they do it. So if I didn't have a leash on her right now, I could just say, Halo, 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 come. Okay, perfect. So if she doesn't come, good girl, yes. If she hadn't come, I wouldn't have had any way to reinforce that behavior, right? Having that leash on gives you a way to say, I've said come. If you didn't listen, you can just give her just a little pop. So it's all about just getting their attention. You don't want to rely on using your leash to pull her towards you, because again, your goal is eventually to have no leash on them, right? So then you can go to practicing not holding the leash and working on your communicating with your dog using body language, how you use verbal cues, when you should use when you use their name. So you always start by using their name to get their attention. So I never use commands in repetition. I'm never going to say, Halo, come, 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 right? I'm not going to say that over and over to her because that's giving her 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chances to do it. And we're telling her whichever one on that time you want to do it, you can do it. When in reality, you wanted her to come the first time you said it, right? So you have to reinforce that to her. So by using her name first until you have her attention. So Halo, Halo, right? So good girl, good job, right? So that's perfect. I didn't even need to say the word come, right? All I needed to do was say her name, and that got her attention. Halo, Halo, yes, good girl, right? If we can get our dog to just run over to us as soon as we say our name, I mean, that's great. That's what we really want them to do in the long run anyway. If you use the word come, you have to make sure you reinforce that. So if you say, Halo, come, and she doesn't, you're teaching her that that's okay. Having the leash on her to drag gives you this, that you can kind of have a backup plan, right? So if she does decide she doesn't want to come, you have a way to step on it and say, Halo, 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 come. Yes, good girl. So as soon as she's coming to me, I start saying, yes, good girl, right? I make sure she understands, yes, this is what I wanted you to do. Good job. Great. You got here. And then when she sits, I give her physical praise. So it's their name until they pay attention, followed by a one-word command, and then verbal praise while she's running towards you. Yes, good job. And then physical praise once she finishes the command, which is come and sit at my feet. So when she sits, okay, now she's in free mode, right? Halo, Halo, yes, good girl. Right, so practicing off-leash reliability, having your seatbelt there as a backup, but not holding onto it because you tend to overuse it when you're holding it. You're going to apply pressure when it's unnecessary, and we've taught her pressure and release on this leash. A lot of people go and pick up their leash and they close their fists on it, and they use it way too much. Now, it's a little bit easier to not overuse it with a little dog because a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to hurt them, which is kind of a good thing because this is very minimal pressure when we're doing this. Most people use way more than is necessary. It is literally just pinky's worth of pressure to communicate, pay attention. That's really it. So right there, she just pulled. I'm stepping on it so she can't go anywhere. And she pulled herself just a little bit. And as soon as she felt that pressure, she stopped moving. It's not like she tried to barrel through it. She now understands. So now I can release that, and I'm just kind of letting her walk around and have some free time right now, right? Halo. Yes, good job, baby. Good girl. Sit. Okay, so if she doesn't do it, I'm going to reinforce. Halo. All right, so I'm going to reinforce. Good girl. But I didn't say sit, 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 right? I got her attention. Using her name is more important Then once your dog is looking at you, I can get her to sit without saying sit at all, right? So not letting her go anywhere. Halo. Get her attention. Halo. Right? So exactly. So she's not even paying attention to me right now. If I said sit, she's not going to listen to me, right? Because she's not even paying attention to me. If I get her attention, hi, sweetie. Now, all of a sudden, as soon as I got her attention and she realized, oh, yeah, I have to pay attention to her butt immediately hit the ground. Okay, good girl. Yeah, that's my sweetie. She is such a sweet little lady. I love Halo. Good girl. So this is what homework, these are the kind of homework things that you want to practice with her. You can practice this behavior inside the house where there is limited distractions, where you're in control of everything that's going on around you, and where you can you can put a long line on her. So instead of having just 6 feet of roam, she can have 20 feet of roam, and you still be able to reinforce when I say your name, it means turn and look at me. That's the golden ticket. She knows what come means. She knows what sit means. She knows what place means. It's more, how do I get her attention to do this command more than anything. So, Halo. Halo, yes, good girl. Right, so I use her name, and then as soon as she looks at me, I start using that verbal praise and the baby talk. That's when you want to use the baby talk. Even if she doesn't want to come to you. So let's say she's in the house, and so like if I go to put a leash on her, sometimes she'll like kind of like run away, not in fear or anything like that. She's more just like a playfulness where she kind of like runs and ducks down. And so instead of saying, Halo, come, right? And like almost getting annoyed at her, think about making her excited about it. Don't get upset at her that she's not listening. So Halo, Halo, come, Halo, right? You don't want to do that. Notice she didn't listen to me at all, right? She doesn't understand words. She understands tones. So Halo, Halo. Yes, good girl. Right? It's all about tone. So she's heard the word halo, and she knows every time she hears that tone, then she starts to understand that's name recognition. So name recognition is a big part of training, understanding how to call her to get her attention. And then once she's paying attention, you can ask her what you want her to do 1, maybe 2 times. Reinforce that behavior using your leash. Then once you guys get good at your handling skills, you can drop your leash and just have it there as a backup. Then once you're like, oh, I totally got this. When we call her, she comes. I know how to communicate. I know how to use spatial pressure, all of that good handling techniques. Then that's where your off-leash reliability just naturally happens. It's not so much something that you send your dog away to learn and they come home and they're going to be perfect. If they don't respect you as a handler, they're not going to listen to the commands that you ask them to do. You can't expect them to say, I taught them the words sit, come, down, place, off, heel. Granted, I did teach them those commands, but I taught them more of an action than I did in English language. So don't rely on I taught them words. You have to rely on learning how to communicate with her in a kind of a different way where she understands you're the handler. Halo, yes, good girl, honey. Good job. Good job, kiddo. It's a lot like, think of it when your kid goes to school. They're really respectful of the teacher. They've gone into the classroom. They obey the rules. They sit down. They listen. They do their work. And then they come home to mom where they know that they can kind of get away with stuff. They know what mom allows or dad allows. And that's because we've taught them that over time, that this is what's acceptable behavior in your house. So the same goes for your dog. You have to teach them early on that this is what's acceptable, and that this is what you approve of. So hopefully that helps. She's doing a great job. She's a sweet little lady. The biggest thing that you're going to want to do is just paying attention to her, watching what she does. She's really good about not picking up things that aren't hers. She's doing well with that. Potty training, of course, is going to be watch and confine. I'm going to send you home with a potty training log that's going to allow you to keep track of any accidents that she may have in the house, which is going to help you kind of pinpoint what you're missing in your training, whether it be she's always going in the same area, or she's always going around the same time of day, or she's never caught in the act. She's doing fantastic with not using the bathroom in her crate. The only time she really barks is when she needs to go out to use the bathroom. She is not barking overnight at all. She usually goes out to potty somewhere between 9 and 11, and then we take them out usually between 6 and 7. And she holds it all night, but usually when she barks first thing in the morning around 6 or so, if we don't get her out before then she, that means she needs to go out. So that's fantastic. Just watching her in the house, make sure when she goes out, you don't make it like we're just going for a walk. She's very big about going. So you pad trained her, which kind of she understands go to the same place to use the bathroom. So I kind of did the same thing with going outside. She pooped in the same spot 2 times in a row. So now that's our spot. I go to the same spot every time, and she's starting to pick up that when we go over here, it means because we're going to the bathroom, and then after she uses the bathroom, it's all good girls, and then we go for a little walk or we play around, and I give her, some more mental stimulation and stuff. But just monitoring her in the house, I think she's had a total of 2 accidents the entire time, which is great. She's had 1 pee, 1 poop accident the whole time, maybe 2 pees. One was in playtime, but it's kind of hard to say for sure that it was her, just because there was 2 other dogs out too. But yeah, again, 2 or 3 accidents in that whole time is really good. And both times on my account, it was when she was not being monitored closely. One time she left my bedroom and she pooped in the hallway. So when she left my room, I should have either had my door closed, or I should have noticed that she wandered away. Luckily, she's easy enough. You can pop her on the bed. And I have a king size bed, so she doesn't want to try and jump off of it really. So that makes it good to kind of keep her in place where you can kind of monitor her. But besides that, she really likes her bed. You can put her bed down on the floor, and just monitor her, make sure she's, not doing anything inappropriate. That's the whole key, is, you don't want to correct bad behaviors. You want to entice her to do good behaviors. So don't just, say, no, you're doing it wrong, off, no, off. That's not going to make her confidence build up. We want to tell her, this is what I want you to do. Yes, good job, you did it. This is what I want you to do. Yes, good job, you did it. This is what I want you to do. Yes, good job, you did it. Right? So even just saying it 3 times, it gets repetitive, right? That's the key to training. Repetition plus consistency is your obedient dog. So she's gotten a lot of reps already with me. That's the whole point of the board and train. I've laid that foundation of repetitions where she understands what all the commands mean. Now it's going to be consistency on your part to make sure that you continue to do what she's been trained to do, and your handling skills will get better, and her just general obedience will get better, and then your lovey-dovey relationship gets even better, because who doesn't love a dog that just listens to them really well? So she's doing a great job. She really is an awesome little girl. She really is an awesome little girl. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Like I said last time, feel free to take some notes. Rewatch the video a couple times. It'll sink in a little more. And jot down any questions that you might have for her take-home lesson. I'll be giving you a call later today to set that up. So hope everyone has a great day. If you have any questions, let me know. And if anybody needs help with their dogs, give us a call today. We'd be happy to help you like we are with Miss Halo. Everyone have a great afternoon.